A good friend of ours in Nikon. He's been using Nikon for before I was born, I think. Yeah, 20 years. So just after I was born. Right? So he knows pretty much everything and anything about Nikon, and I would like to pass the stage on to Mr. Baha.
Thank you so much. Hello? Is it okay? Good evening. How are you?
Good.
There is a major question. Are you happy with Nikon? How many persons happy with Nikon? No. More. Show me your hands. I need more. Okay, great. Thank you. We'll start about Nikon creative lighting system, but before that, I'll give you an interview about some functions, some techniques about lighting, and you'll see with the presentation. But before that, in 5 minutes, I will give you a small brief about my CV. I don't like to talk about myself too much, so I made it in the front of you. I started photography in 1984, and in 1997 I got international qualification from British Institute of Professional Photography. 1998 I got distinction from Master Photographers Association in UK. And I established my company with my partners, and we are doing most of Nikon classes and other classes. This is a small brief. General manager of Nikon advertising company for commercial photography and for trainings. Head of Baha Photo Frames Group in Kuwait, established 2012. Marketing manager in Scottish General Trading Company, trainer of Nikon School in Kuwait, appointed by Nikon, Middle East, Africa, and Dubai. Thank you for them for their confidence with me. Thank you, Kai. Thank you so much. Founder of Beit Ladan Photography Club for 10 years. There are many things. I don't like to talk too much. Just give you a brief about myself. I made coverage for FIFA Confederation Cup in South Africa, FIFA World Cup in South Africa, Formula 1 in Bahrain, MotoGP in Qatar, Rally in Jordan, in Kuwait, in Qatar, Wimbledon champion in England, and I made many things, and now I'm organizing workshops out of Kuwait, South Africa, Scotland, Oman, Qatar, India, different places. This is a small brief about myself. I don't like to talk too much. Let's go to Nikon school. Portrait and lighting with Nikon Creative Lighting System. When I'm talking about portraits, it means taking pictures to people at home, street, work, everywhere. Portraits, something general, and we know it everywhere, and we can see each other. And sometimes some people they have idea that taking picture for any person means portraits. I'll give you a small brief about portraits. This is the content of our session: portrait, lighting techniques, creating lighting system, practical session. By the way, this picture I took it in Oman. How many speed light did I use? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just one head. Just one head. Later I'll explain for you the tools that I use. We are using Nikon for 30-second situation, but there is something called capacitor. Have you heard about the capacitor inside the flash? Have you heard about that before? How many batteries inside the flash?
4.
4 batteries. Okay. What is the maximum voltage for these 4 batteries? 6 volts. Inside the flash, there is a capacitor will make the voltage higher from 6 volts to 330 volts depends on the flash, and sometimes 380 volts. So the flash will give you very high power when you are taking the picture. But we are using the flash for 3 reasons. In low light to photograph moving subjects. When I'm talking about moving subjects, even the person who are breathing, we need a flash sometimes to take the picture. Okay? The second thing, to reduce the contrast in the image by reducing the shadow. Have you tried to take picture at noon for someone put the hat on his head? You'll find there's shadow, dark area. Have you tried to use the flash in this situation? This is very useful to reduce the contrast and to give me details in the dark area. Use Nikon creative lighting system, and we'll do practice with our model today. We'll use 3 to 4 heads, and we'll talk about it later. Portraiture. The brief of this paragraph, artistic representation of person in which the face and its expression. So in portrait, if there's no expression, we can't say this is portraits. It will be snapshots. In portrait, we have to get expression. Expression, there's example about it, likeness, personality, and even the mood of the person. Laughing, smiling, thinking, doing something. It means there's a story behind the portrait. Don't take the picture quickly without any expression in the face. If the person afraid from the picture, try to convince him, try to talk with him, try to ask him for something happy or sometimes sad to get the expression. Don't take the picture quickly without any emotion on the face. Tips of composition. Do you have idea about composition? What's the meaning of composition? It means you will put in your imagination what's the best place to put the subject inside the frame. Make the subject in a studied way. Don't take it random way. The composition is very important for all the photographers because it shows the ability of imagination between one photographer to another photographer. If we are going somewhere all together and then take picture for one person, for the model, if the results same, do you think there's a composition in the picture? But if someone using rules and the other break the rules, it means there's certain way to take the picture. There's a plan, there's imagination. Don't take the picture quickly. I put some rules as a fast forward, as example for you. There are more, but I think it's enough for you as a beginner, and you'll find it. Fill the frame with your subjects. One of the major and important rules. If I would like to photograph the model, can you come here please, the model? Hello. What's your name? Dalia? You will come back. Somewhere, please. If you would like to photograph the model and you would like to concentrate on the head, okay, on the head, do you need to take picture of all the body? This rule will tell you when you are taking the picture, take it, depends on your idea. If you would like to photograph the eyes, do you need to put the head in the picture? Okay? If you are taking picture for the model, do you need to take the table on the computer inside the frame? So you have to think, fill the frame with the subjects. Okay. Don't take the picture and there are many items inside. I'll show you example now, just so you put it on the HDMI, I'll show you example. Sometimes you need to think before taking picture. Where is my main subject? How can I get the picture? Where is my idea? Where is my philosophy? If you are experts, you have high level of skill, you have to get philosophy in the picture. Okay. I'll show you example now.
Да.
I'll show you example now. You can hold the camera. And I'll okay, let's say you want to photograph the model half body. When I'm talking about the half body, look at here. I would like to concentrate on the face. Do I need to take all the body? Okay? So this is the major thing in the rule. Concentrate on your idea, your philosophy, your story, and fill the frame. Don't leave empty area, don't leave space in the picture if you don't need this space. Okay? I'll take another picture. Okay. Let's do it. Okay, thank you. Look at the details. Do I need all these parts in the picture? So this is the main rule. Fill the frame. Don't take any extra area if you don't need it in your idea. Okay? Shall I go to the other picture? Go to the okay, look out. Major difference. This is the first one. Let's go to the second rule. Yeah. You have to change every time. Yeah. By the way, screen a little bit dark. Can you make it lighter? It's too dark. Is it possible? If it's hard work, don't do it. I'll talk about another rule. If you are taking picture for portrait, try to put the eyes in the second upper third of the picture. I'll show you the. No, it's okay. Better than Look at to the eyes on the upper third of the picture. This is general rule, but if you have skill or experience to break the rule, depends on your knowledge. Sometimes we learn the rules, then we have to break it. This is one of the major rules in portrait photography. Using frame to concentrate. I'll use this area, I'll put the model in this area and use it as a frame. Okay, can you come here please? No. Yes, yes. Go back a little bit more. Okay. Look at to the frame that I use it. The frame now gave me determination of the dimensions of the picture. If you are shooting near the door, near the fence, near the window, you can use it as a frame to the picture. Okay? Look up to the frame that you can use it. By the way, I'm using one head for reason. Later we'll do practice, we'll use 3 heads and 4 heads. But for reason now, I'm using just one because most of the photographers, they have 1 flash or 2. Most of them. How many flash do you have in general? Every person you have to tell me as example. How much? How many? 1? Okay. 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. So this is the normal setting for me because I'm a professional photographer. I need it when I'm traveling. I'm using more than 3, 4, 5 heads. Depends on my idea. Try to use lines, guidelines. The guidelines will follow your eyes to the subject. The lines, no problem. It's horizontal, vertical, zigzag, curve, no problem. But will draw your attention to the main subject. Look at here to the lines. Probably can switch off the slide. Look at to the lines here. The photographer took the picture and he knew the rule and he used it properly. So one of the major things when you are taking pictures, don't take it quickly. You have to think. Someone will tell me, I don't have enough time. If there's something happen quickly and you don't have time, take the picture. And if there's extra time for you, probably you can think and take it on the right way. Especially photojournalism, sometimes you don't have time to think. And this kid, you can't convince him to smile always. Will you ask him, stop, I would like to organize the place and composition, or you'll take it quickly? Take it quickly. After that, if the smile stay in the face, okay, you can adjust the picture and take it. So look at the lines here. Let's have it. Look at the lines here to draw your attention to the main subject. Change your angles. This picture, I took it in India. I asked the kids to sit down and I asked them to look at me. How many expressions are there here? How many expressions?
6.
Are there story in the picture or normal picture? Look at the face, look at the expression, look at the situation of the place, the clothes, the dirt on their faces. There is a story. Okay? I'll ask the model now to sit down on the ground and I'll take a picture from the top. Then I'll do it again on the normal position to find the difference. Okay? Can I sit down, please? One of the excellent functions of the D5, there's something, do you have idea about it? Will I say it? Kai, will I say this function about the D5? Okay. D5 has major function in the low light. The camera can adjust the focusing in the low light if the exposure value is -4. This is the first camera in the world that can do it. For this reason, no problem about the focusing. Look at the angle. Okay? Then I'll take the picture on the normal angle and compare between them. Which one will be stronger? If there's expression on the face, let's say sadness, happiness. Let's compare between these two and find, show me your happiness. Okay. Compare between these two. Which one is better for your expression? This one or this one?
Second one.
There's a story behind this picture. This is normal smiling, but look at the eyes here. Please, I am begging you. Give me money. Sorry. Okay, so which one is stronger in expression? This one or this one? The first one. When you see any picture, don't take the judging from first expression, first look. Try to understand the picture. As I told you, this is very normal. Oh, this one, no, there's something. So change your angle. Don't take the picture on the normal angle because it will be similar to the other. Try to change. Maybe you need longer time to understand this situation, but try to do your best. Okay. Sorry, I'm disturbed you now. Every time. No remote for this one. Different shooting techniques. Auto. How many persons do use auto when taking picture for portrait? Your hands, please. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and quarter. Okay. In the auto, the camera will adjust the shutter speed, the aperture, and the limitation of the other functions will be too much. It means you can't change all the functions in auto. It's a very simple way to take pictures. For someone, you would like to take the picture quickly or doesn't have information about photography, you can use the auto system. When you check the menu of your camera with auto, it will be very limited function that you can change it. Have you checked this matter before? When you put your camera on auto, the functions of the auto, let's say, be 5, 6, 7. But when you change it to program, it will be 11, 12, 13, whatever. This is the simplest way to take the picture. For someone who doesn't know anything about photography, or someone who would like to adjust the camera quickly and take the picture. Do you think this is excellent way to take the picture for photographers? No.
Depends on the situation.
Photographer would like to adjust the camera, probably totally or partially on that. Program. A little bit advanced than auto. More functions is active, and the camera will adjust the shutter speed on the aperture. And sometimes you can use auto ISO. The camera will adjust the auto ISO itself. There's a question. If you take this picture, this program, take picture in the normal situation, let's say landscape, normal landscape, is the result will be reasonable or excellent or bad? What do you think? Sorry? It will be normal because if you are taking picture in the normal lighting, normal situation, nothing difficult, nothing, let's say, complicated about the highlight and the shadow, it will be active and will give you excellent results. Shutter priority. This is for movement, for moving subjects, for sports, playing kids, anything moving. With this shutter priority, you can control the aperture, the shutter yourself, and the camera will control the aperture. I'll say it again. With shutter priority, you will control the shutter speed, and the camera will control the aperture. Semi-program. If you are taking picture at night, what is the shutter speed you need to your picture approximately? Let's say road trucks.
20 seconds.
20?
20 seconds.
20 seconds, okay. 20. Do you have any other suggestions? 30? 1 over? Well, no, 1 over 10 will be dark. At night, when you are shooting the roads and the car moving, you will see the trucks of the lighting moving. The normal shutter speed depends on the lighting level and the situation, between 4 seconds, 8 seconds, 15 seconds, sometimes 30 seconds, depends. If you use the shutter priority, you will control the shutter time and you'll get the results. When I'm shooting sports, in the past I shoot Formula 1, I'm using shutter priority. I'll control the shutter speed for 2000 with 600 millimeter lens, and the camera will give me the suitable alternative for the aperture. So if you are taking picture for moving subjects, you have to use shutter priority. Aperture priority. What do you have idea about aperture priority? Okay. To control what? And depth of field. Depth of field. Thank you. With aperture priority, the photographer will select the aperture depends on depth of field. Do you have an idea about depth of field? All of you? The distance between what? All background? What about the photo foreground? Okay, let's do a test and see how to control the depth of it. I'll take two pictures, one with aperture 1.4, the other one with aperture 16. Can you come this? Okay. Your body this way. Okay, great. Look at the background. Is the depth of field maximum or minimum in this picture?
Maximum.
Minimum, because the background is a blur, not sharp. This one? When I'm talking about the depth of field, it is the distance before and after the focusing point. Before and after, not only for background, even for foreground. 1/3 before and 2/3 behind. If you are taking picture for portrait, you have to concentrate focusing on the eyes. So depth of field will start 1/3 before, 2/3 behind. I'll say it again. When you're taking any picture for portrait, you will take the focus on the eyes. The depth of field will be 1/3 foreground and 2/3 background. Okay? Let me do a test for this one for foreground. I need your help, please. I want you to hold this one between me and between the model. Yeah, just put it. Just I would like to show this one. Okay, come here, come here. Okay. Okay, this is 1.4, and let's go to 16. Let's check now for foreground and background. This is 1.4. Look at the foreground. It's totally out of focus. Now f16. Is it sharp or not sharp? So when I'm talking about the depth of field, this is for foreground and background. But for foreground should be 1/3 and background should be 2/3. If you have 4 rows of people sitting for a group picture, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 rows. Where will you put the focusing? The first or second or third or fourth? Second. Second. It's true. 1/3 front, 2/3 back. Manual. With manual, the photographer will manage the shutter speed and the aperture depends on his idea. How many persons here can do manual shooting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Good, about 15 persons. If you are taking picture for manual, for any subject with normal lighting, you don't need to waste your time on using manual because the manual needs to adjust the aperture and shutter speed at the same time. Put it on aperture priority or shutter priority, depends on your idea, or depends on your philosophy of shooting. But if there is specific lighting situation, let's say if it is overcast, the clouds cover all the ground, and there is ray of lighting, small ray of lighting will reach the ground. Sunlight, small area of sunlight will reach the ground. Which one is better, to use manual or other settings? Manual. I don't like to go too much about these techniques because not our topic today. By the way, if you have any questions, you can ask me, please. Don't leave the questions later, probably someone will forget. I'll be happy to answer you. Focal length, bokeh, indoor, outdoor shooting. In Nikon, you have many lenses. But there is something important about using lenses. You have to use the proper lens, suitable lens, depends on your subjects. Let's say if you would like to take landscape picture, what's the best lens for landscape? Most of the time is wide angle. But if you have experience or high skill, can you use the other lenses to get picture for landscape? Yes. I use 600 to shoot landscape. With my 600, I photograph macro. Probably someone will say how it's come. I use macro, shoot it from macro with extension tube for wildlife, for portrait, for landscape. I use my 600 for all these types of photography. Focal length. What is the meaning of focal length? This is something inside the lens. You can't see it in your eyes, but you can feel it from the result of the lens. The focal length, it's happened inside the lens. Okay? I'll give you a small idea about it. This is the subject. Okay? It will go the lighting through the lens. The distance between rear area of the lens and the sensor called focal length. You can't see it in your eyes because it's inside the lens. This is the subject. The lighting will go through the lens into the rear area. From the rear area where the lighting will be in one point, from this area to the sensor plane called focal length. With the small lenses, wide angle lenses, why the size is small, not big? With the wide angle lenses, why the size of the lens is very small? And when you are using telephoto, it will be very big. Why? Because in wide angle lens, this distance will be very small. This distance will be very small, very short. But with telephoto, it will be very long distance. I don't like to talk too much about this one. This is example about the lenses. You have to select your lens, depends on your topic. For landscape, most of the time we are using wide angle lens to give three-dimensional picture. What's the meaning of three-dimensional picture? Foreground. It will be bigger than background. I'll do a test now for this technique. I'll use 20 millimeter lens 1.4. Then I'll compare the result with 85 1.4. Okay?
If I want to select a lens, I like to shoot the landscape and portrait.
Okay.
If I want to select the best lens to do that, how I would do it?
Depends on the distance for your subject. The portrait, what's the distance for your portrait from, you mean same location or different locations?
Same location, maybe with them.
Okay.